For the community, by the community.
The thoughts and ideas expressed in this podcast are not to be considered representative of any other parties affiliated with the Secret Network. We are not qualified to give financial advice, but if we were, we'd say market by secret aggressively.
Welcome back to The Secret Code, your audio home for everything Secret Network. If you haven't checked out our website yet, please visit secretcodepodcast.com and email us at secretcodepodcast@protonmail.com. And please make sure to subscribe on YouTube and or the podcast apps. Today's guests are the founders and co-leads of the International Growth Committee. They are also members of the Secure Secrets team and are actively involved in plenty of projects across the Secret Network. Today we primarily discuss the IGC, but do touch on data vaults and the Secret Bazaar. Enjoy the conversation and find out how you can contribute to the multicultural and polycontinental growth of the Secret Network. And as always,
your input becomes our output. This is The Secret Code.
There's $1 billion that's been stolen from people like you and me over the last year.
Their investments very public.
Become a secret agent.
Oh, I love it. I love the tech. I love everything about it.
welcome back to the Secret Code Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Weisen, and joined today with two special guests, Dalton and Jeremy of the International Growth Committee. Dalton, Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to be here.
So, since it's our first time having two guests on the show, we're going to have to take a little bit of time going between you guys and getting both your answers on things. So, first off, Dalton, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so I like to think of myself as a driven individual. I got a passion for sports. I play soccer and golf regularly, and then I also train jiu-jitsu 5 times a week. So
that's awesome. I recently got into golf. I hit the ball really far. I just don't always hit it straight.
Yeah, it's a frustrating game at times.
I did 1 year of jiu-jitsu and absolutely loved it. Then my brother-in-law moved out of state and I didn't have anyone to practice with anymore, but that's cool.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's fun.
Jeremy, tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, so I guess I'm into a lot of different particular things. I really like Dungeons and Dragons, really enjoy being active, pretty big fan of, the usual anime, gaming, crypto, enjoy reading history textbooks and deathcore music.
Very cool. Is it specifically deathcore music in English, or do you prefer it in other languages as well?
It's specifically in English. There's a couple Japanese bands that I like, but don't really get the message all the time.
I've seen some really neat Eastern European ones. What are your guys' current roles within the Secret Network ecosystem? Jeremy?
So I am one of the co-leads for the International Growth Committee. We've been doing that for just over 3 months. And then I'm also a operations and compliance consultant with Secure Secrets, which is a software development company and a validator on Secret Network.
And how long has Secure Secrets existed?
Secure Secrets has existed as kind of a brand for over a year. The node began about a year ago with Mohammed Patla, and then Carter Watzel joined him and officially began this last year.
Awesome. And Dalton, what are some of your roles within the Secret Network ecosystem?
Yeah, so like Jeremy said, I'm the other co-lead of the IGC, International Growth Committee. And then as well with Jeremy, I consult with Secure Secrets on the marketing and communication side of things.
Very cool. So you're both based in the United States. What first gave you the idea to start the International Growth Committee? What passion brought that about? And what experience and capabilities made you guys feel comfortable spearheading this yourself?
So the idea of the IGC was when we originally came in, we honestly had no idea what we were doing. Like, we had not been in any crypto space before. We were obviously newbies, and we stuck around the place for a while. We joined different chats, listed on different things. And after a while, it was kind of the realization that there was nothing in that way for people who didn't speak English. There was some really decentralized chats where we weren't even aware of who the people running it were. They weren't getting translated content. And the idea of it was, back in my work and back in school, I've been lead in a lot of setting up different teams or projects. And it just kind of made sense to pull people who were interested in helping support people from either the region or their own language and translating content, answering questions, pointing people in the right direction, kind of setting up what we have in English chats, but for everyone else. And it's just generally, if you can communicate pretty well and you're very patient with a lot of spam that you get, you can do a good job. It's a lot of patience, but especially with yourself.
I'm a huge fan of the initiative. I mean, I'm in Southern California, so I can get by pretty well in Spanish, but I'm a white guy. I speak English, and I know that Enigma was based, the developers are in Israel, but Enigma was a US based company. And especially when they had their first ICO, and Secret Network has more people in the United States than any other country. And that needs to change. It's not that we need less people in the United States, but we need more people all over the world. It's a hugely important initiative. And so I'm glad that you guys did take it upon yourselves to start it up. Dalton, did you want to talk at all about what caused you guys to get involved with it?
Yeah, I think like Jeremy said, we just really saw a need in the ecosystem for non-English speakers, right? We saw that many of the chats are just in English, and a lot of the communications and content are also pushed out in English. And we just thought that if we could kind of reach a different target audience, different market, in translations of articles and maybe Twitter posts and things like that, we could really just kind of expand Secret Network as it is as a whole, and just kind of reach that new market that we saw.
Awesome. What languages do you guys speak?
English.
Yeah, as far as other languages, I have a background in Spanish. I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but like you said, I can speak well enough to get around. I wouldn't fret too much if I was lost in Mexico. But other than that, English as well.
So I used you guys for the viewing key question for Asaf back on that episode. And when did you guys get such a huge following in Iran?
It was the global agent that we have, Amin, there. We've had him for like 2 months. He, I think, knows a lot of people, has a lot of connections. He approached us and we had a conversation with him. And obviously we're like, yeah, we want to set up a community for people that speak this language. And just sending him content and having back and forth, and it just kind of blew up. I don't know if people are just particularly interested in that area, or if he's been talking to everyone in all these different chats, but that was the one that grew the quickest.
So Dalton, when did you first get into cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I would say probably 8 or 9 months ago, like Jeremy. I was introduced by Carter Wetzel. As many people know in this ecosystem, I know him in real life. And so he introduced me, and I got to join Secret Network. And like Jeremy said earlier, I just kind of sat around, lurked a little bit in chats, tried to learn as much as I could, and then kind of tried to step up in more responsibility as the time went on.
Okay, so you got involved in Secret Network specifically as the first crypto you were involved with because of Carter?
Correct.
And Jeremy, you as well?
Yeah, it was, I mean, even on so many of the meetings that I go into, I'm still learning words as I'm going into it now. And yeah, Carter kind of gave us a little trial by fire. He just sent us a list of like 10 to 15 links and said, go learn this. I'll let you in the chats once you know about it. We got to see, the price chat, it's always a great time. And yeah, it feels like a lot longer than 8 or 9 months. It feels like this is something I've been doing forever, but yeah.
Did you guys study computer science at school?
No. So I myself have a degree in finance, history, and economics. So the initial thing that Carter pointed out to me was the implications of having an encrypted like database for corporate structures, and even like the returns on like the swap. I worked at the mutual fund at my school, and we're fighting to try to find places that get 7 to 9% returns. And then when you look at staking, my brain almost exploded. And then when I learned about LP providing when it was early on the secret swap, that was a big day. That was a weird day.
I just had an amazing day today, since the day that we're recording this is the day that the CFI XMR pool went live, and also the CFI USDC pool, and even the cross-chain stable pool where we have USDC on the ETH blockchain and USDC on the Binance Smart Chain, and the APYs initially showed up as infinity. So I was active on the bridges and the swap and trying to become some of the first liquidity in there. And then after more liquidity came in, there were just ridiculous arbitrage opportunities, and I sold over half my Monero bag for anywhere from $350 to $410. Well, it was priced at $260, $270 everywhere else. So yeah, I had a great day.
I'm looking up the returns as we speak on Swap.
People, if you aren't using Secret Swap, you really should. There really is more than enough liquidity to actually trade, and you won't get front run. You can't. And the rewards are great. The opportunities can be incredible. Like, and this time, everybody wanted Monero, and some people were too lazy to use the bridge themselves. Don't mind if I do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if you're looking at your job just searching for 7 and 9%, you can get 7 and 9% so easily in crypto just by keeping things stably in dollars. And you can get so much more than that if you actually take the time and do your research and look around and are willing to move and willing to learn.
That's goofy.
18,000%?
They no longer say infinity for two of the pools.
No, wait, no, 18 million percent.
I didn't even know that was a thing. It literally said infinite.
This. sorry.
But yeah, especially with liquidity providing, getting in early is key. Because let's see, right now about 1.3 million C-Fire minted per day before the first halving takes place. And so some of these pools were like 5.5%. So about the International Growth Committee, what milestones are you guys trying to reach? What metrics are you trying to use to show growth? Like, what does growth look like to you guys, and how are you going about it?
Yeah, so I can kind of start off on that, and then Dalton can finish off because he's the one who actually builds out the monthly reports that we do. I know that on a month-by-month basis, it's been like almost an average of anywhere between 20 and 50% growth. I know it's starting off as really small chats, but that's still significant. And we measure the growth on the size of the chats as well as how many agents we have in those number of chats. Obviously, that's still growing. One thing that we did not expect was some people want to come on as teams, and we kind of form partnerships with them instead and pay the whole team to do translations. This is what we do with the Polish team. Is it's like a group of 3 or 4 of them, and they do translations, they do articles, they do, they moderate everything, and they're making a lot of stuff for the long term. And so there's quite a few different teams that were working those partnerships out rather than individual agent. But yeah, the amount of agents that we have, the growth. And then we added a bot to every single chat called Combat that measures activity of every single user, as well as like length of messages and just how much general activity that there is. So we can see if it's a dead chat or a live chat.
To future goals or anything like that, we do have some pretty lofty goals. One of the goals that we wrote down in the beginning of this was to have all of these international communities outpace the main secret network, Telegram. We are on our way to that, and we do believe that in one day it will happen. But as for right now, we do have a couple chats in the few hundreds. Iran is just absolutely outpacing everybody. I think it's mid 700s. But that is one of our future milestones, is to have all of these chats outpace the main Telegram.
And by outpace, do you mean user for user growth, or do you mean percentage growth?
User for user. You could look at percentage as well, but we kind of want the numbers to be there as well.
And what's your vision or strategy for the committee moving forward? You mentioned that it's been there for just over 3 months. So does that mean you guys are working on your second charter now?
We are in process of going to the chain for round 2 of the International Growth Committee. And I guess moving forward, I'll let Jeremy speak on this as well. But we do have some plans in place to kind of promote some agents and put them in a more advantageous spot to take on more responsibility in the ecosystem and kind of assist in the overall onboarding of a couple agents and more translations and things like that.
So audience, if you guys are unfamiliar with this about the committees, they typically submit 3-month charters where they describe what they're going to do for those 3 months. And that's kind of how they get their funding. And so a lot of the committees have just finished their 3-month charters and are going back on chain to get their second one. And also the International Growth Committee here, we're familiar with secret agents, but you guys have international agents. Jeremy, did you want to walk me through what the difference is?
Mm-hmm. So everything is technically under the secret agent program. The term that we use for them is the international global agents or international global coordinator. So starting off as an agent, obviously we're going to have someone there for a month or 2, see how they respond to people, if they want to do translations. And then the coordinators is essentially they take on more roles of major articles or even website translations. Like one person that we pulled on for the foundation actually was Kelvin. He is a native Chinese speaker, and he is working for them and working alongside Sandy for an almost complete translation of the entire Secret Network website. as well as major article. He does every single article that comes out. So a coordinator will be someone that either pulls on other agents, who does major translations long term, sort of things like that. But this entire structure exists underneath the secret agent program. So it's kind of an extra wing of it.
Do you have anything to add, Dalton?
No, that was great.
So did you guys already submit your second charter, or are you in the process of that right now?
We're in the process of working on it. We're going to take it to the forum and then submit it. We originally had our timing on the 15th, but we're hoping to reset that right to the beginning of the month, because it's kind of hard to check your monthly stats when it's right in the middle of the month. So we're going to pace that out. Part of what it is we also wanted to see how the other committees were doing this, because this is the first time we've all come back to the chain. We were some of the first movers off. Like, we never even worked directly with the foundation technically, or were funded during that time. We were immediately on the chain. So we're looking at, what the education committee has put forward, because there's a certain standard that they're setting for charters and proposals now. We want to make sure that we're following it to the best of our abilities.
So which countries do you feel are the strongest in terms of community? Where do you guys see the most growing camaraderie? I know you've mentioned keeping stats, but I'm not entirely certain as to what metrics you guys use to measure this. But every week it seems I get a new update from, say, the Secret Network Balkans community or Secret Network Germany. Obviously, I saw the awesome interview with Tor in the Secret Network community in Russia. So obviously, to me, you guys are doing great and growth is taking place. But take me through your perspective on it and highlight some countries.
I would definitely say the most interactive communities are the Iran and the Philippines communities that we have. They're definitely always the most active. Everyone's always asking questions. Everyone's always pinging our agents in there. And as far as the weakest, I don't like to use the word weakest. I just would like to say not grown out yet. Those would be the most likely Hindi/Urdu and then the Korean chats that we have. We would love to get an agent in one of those chats and just see it explode.
And you guys are offering funding for these international growth agents?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So if I am a Korean-speaking individual who recently learned about Secret Network, how could I get funding and how could I get involved and help you guys?
Yeah, so I would definitely ask you to go fill out the secret agent application and become a secret agent. And then I would ask that you reach out to myself or Jeremy on Telegram or Discord. Usually we're on there 24/7. Nobody sleeps here in the crypto space. So reach out to one of us and then we can set up and have a conversation. We can go through a few questions, kind of responsibilities and expectations of what we would expect of you as an agent. And then we can move forward from there.
Well, you guys got the luxury of being a sauce viewing key. Are you ready for your own?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Let's look into the viewing key. The question isn't why do you have to make one on Secret Network? The question is why don't you everywhere else? All right, it's my first time having two guests on the show, so I am going to attack them with a viewing key with two correct answers. You each got to get one of them. All right, so an area of the Secret Network that I would not associate the international growth community with would be collaborative partnerships. So, of the following 4 projects, each of you pick one that has a collaborative partnership with Secret Network. Band Protocol, Ocean Protocol, Link, and Yearn Finance.
I'll take the easy one and say band.
The two I know the most about are Band and Ocean. I'm gonna have to go with Ocean.
No, I don't think Ocean has one.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's band.
Okay.
And then I think it's Link.
You know what? I'm gonna switch my answer to Link.
It was Band and Ocean.
Oh no!
I was right. I was so right.
Sabotaged
Oh no!
by your co-lead.
Oh, by his own committee lead.
I shouldn't. I just shouldn't listen to him. I just shouldn't.
Oh,
Maybe they are working with Link. behind the scenes, and it's something I haven't heard about. But one of the reasons I've been a big believer in Band as opposed to Link is because I've known for a long time that they've been working with Band, and they're both Oracle based. But yes, I know that Ocean and Secret Network have been working together which actually should be really applicable to you guys with what I know, Jeremy, you're involved with, at least with Data Vault.
Yeah, you would think that. It's I knew that. Oh well, it happens. But yeah, Data Vault.
So obviously you guys don't only work for the International Growth Committee. That's just one way that you guys figured out to help the Secret Network, which is awesome. My podcast is one way I figured out that I could help, and we all really need to just help out where we can. But you're also working with Secure Secrets, one of the many teams inside the Secret Network, and I know that you're involved with other projects. Could you talk me through Data Vault and the Secret Bazaar? I've been actually really trying to find more information on them. I saw them come up a couple months ago, and I couldn't find anything else on them, and it's been killing me.
Yeah, so there's the new product that's going to be coming out called Data Vault, and that's being currently developed by a founder, and we've been working with him for about a month and a half now. We're assisting on the side of branding, looking at his economics about his token functions, making suggestions on the actual how it should function, and see what we can actually implement to make it work better. So essentially, he is building Secret Bazaar, which is a marketplace that's entirely encrypted. You can put on videos, images, text, like any sort of content on there, and you can put it up for sale, or people can put up buys on it. And that's just the first marketplace, because Data Vault itself, you can plug into the back end and make your own marketplace on it. And there's this whole system we're working on for people being able to buy the coin, which will be called DAVA, DAVA, and essentially be able to be content managers of making your own marketplace on there. Essentially, you could plug in like a YouTube or a Twitch on there. And so that money flows then, there's a whole commission structure as well as minting. And it's pretty crazy. I'm really, really excited about it. Dalton, anything else you want to say on that?
No, I would agree with you on everything. It's an absolutely amazing project, and I think once we get it to full functionality, it's going to be absolutely insane. So
me just trying to understand it based on the similar projects I'm familiar with, that does sound like Ocean, but this is going to be private by default because it's built on Secret Network. Now, this is not like OpenSea because they're not selling NFTs. Can you also include NFTs in this data marketplace?
I believe so. That is a more technical question that I have not asked, but I will ask it now once we finish this. I believe that we'll be able to be offered on it, and that someone can make their own marketplace for that. On the one Secret Bazaar that himself is building, I am not 100% certain, so I can't say yes.
Okay, and a Bazaar is a store, right?
A Bazaar is the marketplace that has many different stores, and essentially is the view of the first marketplace is, like I said, videos, articles, like kind of whatever people can make, like essentially offer their own subscription base for like books that they make, like videos that they have, any sort of thing. And then people can make their own marketplaces, which just expands the Bazaar or the marketplace. And it just keeps growing.
There's going to be a lot of crossover here with Fartles. It's going to be really cool. Paul is saying OnlyFans.
No.
That's funny.
So, with the International Growth Committee, are you guys mostly tied in with education or awareness?
I can speak on that first. I communicate the most with Stefan or Dum in education, essentially for advice or seeing how his things are going. A lot of what we deal with is, announcements, articles that are coming out. So any sort of content creation, as well as, we generally keep up to date with awareness.
Okay. So you guys are focused more right now on education and translation of educational material, more so than awareness material?
I'd say that's fair, yeah.
Okay. And do you guys experience any issues with different countries having different regulation amounts and maybe communities not really being aware of crypto as a whole in other countries?
I think the people that we only interact with know about crypto. Like they show up because they know about crypto or know something about it and that they have an interest of it. We don't really have the problem of dealing with people that know nothing about it. I guess the main issue for us is people who want to know more about Secret Network. So imagine like talking to me like 8 or 9 months ago. I had no idea what was going on, except there's the major language barrier of non-Roman based languages a lot of the time, or people who don't speak any sort of English.
Yeah, I mean, even a couple of months ago, we struggled with India a little bit just because the Indian government was flip-flopping on whether or not they were going to allow crypto, right? And so we kind of had to struggle back and forth of what were we going to do and how we were going to proceed going forward on whether or not we wanted to build that Indian community, the Hindi/Urdu. And then you also have to deal with, there's a lot of different communities that don't use Telegram, right? So you have to figure out where you are and what kind of platform they're using, because nobody in India really uses Telegram. They either use WhatsApp or another app. And so you kind of have to adjust. And we actually have a couple WhatsApps and WeChats for different communities in different locations that we use to better suit that area in those communities, rather than just asking them to jump on Telegram and switch all their things over.
I was able to get one of my friends involved in the WeChat, and she was encouraged and was able to learn more about it. And then she bought Well Secret was under $1, so she's all excited.
That's awesome.
I think I saw you in that chat asking questions about that, and someone answered it already. And I was going to send her a link to the WeChat, and then that was a while ago. And then I realized I didn't have a link to it. And so I went hunting it down because they use the QR code scanners. But the main chat one refreshes every week, so I couldn't send her that because it went away. So that led me down a little rabbit hole with WeChat. I do want to point out that in India, a lot of people do use Telegram, just way more use WhatsApp. That's just a way more common thing, but a lot do use Telegram. I just wanted to say that.
Now, in interacting with the different countries, what do you think is the most effective approach and medium of communication? Do PowerPoints and tutorials work really well, or is it mostly written work that just needs good translation? And what medium do you think you guys need the most right now that you're not actively able to get?
Yeah, I would say it depends again just on the location of the community. I know we've dealt a little bit with the Polish community, and they actually surprisingly really like YouTube. And so a lot of the content that they consume is videos or podcasts and things like that. And then we've dealt with the more Middle Eastern regions of, say, our Iran chat, and they've used a lot of translated articles and text. And so, Jeremy, I don't know if you've noticed anything like that either, but it really just depends, to be honest.
Jeremy, did you have anything to add?
The easiest thing to do on anything is articles on really big concepts and like how things work. And then if you want to show someone how to use Secret Swap, or you want to show someone how to do a Kepler wallet, you do a YouTube video. And that's kind of what we're assisting one of our agents who's going to start a YouTube channel and going to create some content on various cryptos, but a lot about Secret, and do videos in both Hindi and Spanish because he speaks both languages. So we're going to have YouTube videos for that community. So we're both of those, and I'm really excited about that. But if they need to see how something's done, video.
Paul and I are about to start doing a bunch of our own tutorials. We're going to be doing them in English, obviously, but would there be people that you could put us in touch with that could then translate the YouTube videos to have different subtitles or whatnot so that they could be useful in other countries?
Oh, absolutely. We can definitely do that.
Yeah. One of the original purposes of our chat was that people in Secret could approach us and say, hey, can you ask your group of people, or just get the names, and we'll kind of make it public information of a list of translators that we can have, and just say, hey, who's open for doing these subtitles on these videos? And we can do extra compensation for them, or, we have a budget for that. So any extra work that they do, we obviously want to compensate them for. So yes.
Yeah. We'd probably be willing to pay a little bit too once we eventually have a budget, which we don't.
One day.
One day. But yeah, that's awesome. And this is a great way for people in other communities to get paid, because we do need tons and tons of translation and tons of awareness and outreach. So I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing. We talked a little bit about Secret Bazaar and data vaults. Is there anything else outside of the IGC that you guys would like to talk about that you're working on in the Secret Network?
Oh, the big question. What else are we working on, Jeremy?
So we are working on, and this has been a brainchild that we've been developing for a while, and it's kind of coming to fruition. Obviously, developing the original protocol on how things are going to work, and you'll be able to hear more about it very, very soon.
Yeah, I would say the best way to put it is Jeremy and I are assisting in the development of.
Very cool. It's also super impressive that you guys have only been in crypto for 8 to 9 months and you guys are already building.
Oh, well, let's not get it confused. Jeremy and I are not developers. We work on things outside of the development.
We translate things so that normal people can understand what the developers are saying and look at it, and we make articles helping with the marketing and then thinking about the economics of it. I've asked some really low level questions. I would consider them dumb questions, but that kind of led us down a rabbit hole of actually changing how it functions to where we think it'll work a lot better. So I feel like I've had an impact, which is really good.
I'm very excited for that project to come out.
Us too.
Are there any questions you have for us or stories you'd like to share with the audience? I know this has been a pretty short episode, but I don't want to sell your voices an opportunity to share them with the community short.
I always love telling people who work in Secret Network about my first time meeting Carter, because obviously we both said that Carter got us into this. We obviously went to the same school together. We graduated before him, and I was in a marketing class with him. And I met this guy, and I looked at him and I thought, this guy's a psycho. Like, he's a complete weirdo. Like, when he first met me, it was just one of the weirdest interactions I've had. And he, the next week, says, oh, I'm done with all the work. And I'm like, you mean for the week? He said, no, for the semester. He, in about 2 days, finished the entire class's semester's worth of work because he said it wasn't worth his time saving it up till later. He did that with so many different classes. And then I'd see him typing away. I'm like, what are you doing? And he always say, nothing. And then go back to whatever he's doing. And eventually I realized it's crypto, and he kept dropping hints about it. And now I go to events where I see anyone who knows anything about Carter, and they're like, oh, you're working for that crypto thing. And he's told everyone about it. And it's kind of nuts seeing how the spider web has come out of him, like how many people he's connected with and gotten into crypto in general and about Secret Network. So, but he's a fantastic guy. Yeah.
Thanks, Jeremy. That's an awesome story. Yeah, he specifically has done an excellent job with networking and introducing people to crypto in general, and also Secret Network specifically, from his YouTube channel to his podcasts. And I know I've mentioned on this show his book and Ian's Viewing Key Question. But yeah, I bought his book as soon as it was published, and he's really been incredible and prolific in networking and content creation. He's really a brilliant dude.
Yeah, he is already getting gray hair, and he's about 22. He works ridiculously hard, and I'm glad he mentioned this because the day job doesn't really do it anymore like this does.
So you mentioned that the day job just doesn't cut it for you anymore. So what do you do in your day job, Jeremy?
God, that sounds so bad, but it's true. So for my day job, I work as a finance contractor. So essentially, I work full time for a company, and I get placed at various different roles, filling out different financial needs. I've done, accounting, a blend of HR and operations, and I'm currently in sort of a pseudo accounting operations role.
Okay. How about you, Dalton?
Yeah, I am a permanent placement recruiting manager for a Fortune 500 here in the US. So I place candidates in permanent placement jobs, all in the marketing and creative fields.
Awesome. I deal cards.
I heard you say that you dealt cards, and I was like, that's so crypto. It's just like, I run a podcast on the side. I'm doing this. I love it.
Eric's just waiting for his Ocean's 11 moment where he can just steal the house.
I used to count cards. I'm actually banned. I'm not allowed to play blackjack pretty much anywhere anymore.
Oh my goodness. Is that why you have to deal? You can't play?
I'm actually not even allowed to deal everywhere. But it's fine. I work at the best casino in California anyways. But yeah. Well, do you guys have a call to action for people who might be interested in growing international communities, who might know multiple languages, and that could be a way that they can get involved, that might have been scared in the past because they're not developers, but maybe they speak Chinese or maybe they speak Korean? How can they help your efforts in building international communities? Where can they join you guys? Where can they follow you guys and reach out?
Yeah. So if you speak another language, hit us up. If you think we should make a different community or do anything different, hit us up. And it's basically join the Secret Agent program. Start helping out there if you can. and just DM us. You'll see us on Telegram. I'm Jeremy S. and he's Dalton. I'm on that on Discord or Telegram. Feel free to reach out and don't hesitate to do it. I know the Secret Agent program is being entirely revamped by Brendan. I'm extremely excited to see how it changes.
Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It was an honor to meet you guys and a pleasure to talk to you. Those are all the questions we have for you guys today, but we will put your information in the tweet that airs this and in the YouTube video with this. By the way, audience, if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel yet, please search for Secret Code Podcast. Our last episode with Max Coda already has 300 views at the time we're recording this, so we're really excited about the growth opportunities a YouTube channel affords us. Though, we're honestly just biding our time till we can sell our content directly on the Secret Bazaar, of course. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and your voice. Keep evangelizing the Secret Network ethos throughout the world.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for deciphering the secret code. For the community, by the community. New episodes every Sunday.
Secret Sunday.
Hey, did you guys hear about a new messaging app being built on Secret Network that would keep messages secure and encrypted, but also allow for transferring value? Man, I'd love to learn more about that. If you would too, stay tuned for next week's episode.